The whiskey that does it and ticks all the boxes for us this year is a blended Scotch whiskey. Yes, you heard it right. And the whiskey is...
So we just received our Spotify Wrap and we are now going to also figure out our Whisky Rap. And I'm putting Vinayak and Swati on this spot. And I'm Kriti.
I'm Vinayak.
And I'm Swati.
But before we get started with the Whisky Rap, I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Which was the most popular song and artist on your list?
Diljit Dosanjh.
Which song?
Goat.
No wonder you're from Delhi, right?
Yeah.
Yours?
Okay, mine is a Korean singer, Gaho.
Gaho.
Yes. And the song was Run. I mean,
He sings in English?
English translation of the song name is Run.
Okay.
And the reason why it's on my top listened artist because that's usually my finisher song that I've listened to 6 times when I'm finishing my workout.
Wow.
So that's why it's like I've listened to it apparently 984 times in a year.
What's yours?
Mine is Daddy Yankee. Sorry, mine is Daddy Yankee, Gasolina.
Someone's been partying a lot.
Italian.
No, I haven't been partying. It's just...
Shower song?
No, not shower song. I think this became very famous on one of the reels.
Yeah.
And it has such good energy. So that I've been listening to it. It has a very nice video. The video has been shot in a very...
Yeah, it's a very popular Italian movie on Amazon Prime. It's a song, but this was remixed for that movie.
I see, but otherwise it's Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, it's a very old song. It was remixed for that movie. The part 2 of that movie releases next year.
I see. You've been watching a lot of movies, it seems.
Yes.
Okay, so to our conversation, you guys have this year in 2024 tasted a lot of whiskeys,
Yes.
right? And to again put you on the spot, I am going to ask you to pick one out of all the whiskeys that you may have tried, which was the best that you've had ever.
Is there any criteria?
So the only criteria is it should be available in India.
And no budget, right?
No.
Wow, that's
That makes life easy.
That makes life easy, yes.
Swati, since you've been to Ireland, anything from Ireland?
There is. I mean, I was impressed with a lot of Irish whiskeys.
But most of them wouldn't be available in
Most
India.
of them are not available in India.
I've also tried a lot of interesting whiskey. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of them are available in India. Especially, I think last year, one whiskey, like we tried multiple expressions of that. Potash cake stood out massively. But Swati, since Kriti has put us in a spot, shall we do some khusur and...
But I think there is one whiskey that we've been talking about a lot.
Yeah.
Not just amongst ourselves, but to everybody we meet. And anybody who asks us one exceptional whiskey that I want to buy or I want to gift. I think on that aspect, we are pretty much unanimous. We both tried that whiskey for the first time this year only.
Yeah.
So, do you want to reveal?
Yes. Sorry to disappoint all you supposedly whiskey connoisseurs or purists. The whiskey that does it and ticks all the boxes for us this year is a blended Scotch whiskey. Yes, you heard it right. A blended Scotch whiskey. That's a perfect riposte for all of you who think only single malts are the best whiskeys. And the whiskey is...
Double 27.
So, this is that whiskey as big as my palm. I have very big palms. That's our whiskey of the year 2024.
Okay. Since you guys emphasize so much on not having a budget, how much does this cost in the metropolitans?
To be honest, it's not the most expensive whiskey.
Yeah.
Like in Gurgaon, I think it's anywhere between 15 to 18,000.
Bombay it is 32,000.
Yeah.
Bangalore 21,000.
Yeah.
I think Goa is either 20 or 21,000. So not very, very expensive,
but it's
500 ml. So it's not technically cheap.
So my question is that why is this called the double?
So in 2019, Dewar's master blender, Stephanie MacLeod, came up with this unique process where the whiskey goes through a 4-stage blending process.
Yeah.
Where initially, so a blended Scotch whiskey is a blend of grain whiskies and single malt whiskies, right? Or malt whiskies. Here what happens is all the grain whiskies are aged separately initially for, let's say, 27 years. All the malt whiskies are aged separately for 27 years. So that stage 1, right? All the grain whiskies are then blended together. All the malt whiskies are blended together. So that's stage 2. Stage 3, all the malt whiskies that have been blended together and all the grain whiskeys that have been blended together, they get blended. And in the stage 4, the entire blend gets finished in sherry cask, which in case of Dewar's 27, the double 27 is a Palo Cortado sherry.
So because it goes through such a unique process, do I expect a lot of complex flavor notes from this?
Actually, this entire maturation, the 4-step maturation, makes it a lot more smoother. In terms of flavor profile, of course, there's a lot of complexity because there's sherry cask intensity, then there's Palo Cortado finish, everything. But because it goes through this 4-step maturation process and it has malt and grain whiskey, I think the harmony of flavors is something that you can really expect out of it. While you will get a lot of flavors, and I think what really is something that was interesting about this whiskey is that every sip that you have, it's almost like peeling the layers of an onion. You get a different flavor, but no flavor is overpowering the other. Nothing is really screaming for attention. It just blends together really well on your palate.
I think also for me, what stood out on the whiskey was 46% ABV, very approachable, very smooth. Palo Cortado is a very, very unique sherry. For example, if you compare this with the Dewar's Double 21, which is finished in Oloroso sherry. Oloroso is very intense. It's very spicy, very nutty. This is not as intense, which you can also see it in the color. It has those slight fruity, tropical notes. Along with that, you get some floral notes, some herbaceous notes, which again comes from finish in Palo Cortado. So overall, it offers a lot of bouquet when it comes to aromas and the flavor profile, which you don't get in a lot of other regular whiskeys. And it's like the complexity on this one is next level. And I mean, both of us can vouch from our experience hosting multiple events across India. We haven't come across anyone who has not liked this whiskey. And at as recent as event that we hosted 3 weeks ago in Bangalore, where we had 4 of the best whiskeys. There was Dewar's Double 27, there was Royal Bracla 21, there was Glenmorangie Signet
and the Glengrant
21. All 4 exceptional, mind-blowing whiskeys, right? Exceptional. For a lot of people, Dewar's Double 27 stood out because again of that complexity. See, a lot of times what happens is great whiskeys can be a bit bold and flavorful, this is like not bold, this is not in your face. And I think so, drawing upon from our experience and interaction with people whom we introduced to the Dewar's Double 27, I think everyone has been blown away by this.
See, the market is flooded with sherry cask whiskies. They are available left, right and center. Ex-bourbon is always been there. So I think just that refreshing change of a sherry cask whiskey, which is not very bold and very intense, but like a lot more palatable.
Yeah.
I think that's what really kind of takes away. And like Vinayak said, in that tasting, there were 3 single malts and 1 blended Scotch whiskey. And hands down, the majority of people ended up liking this one.
And I remember you also mentioned the Dewar's Double 21-year-old, and oftentimes a lot of people have this thought that, or conception that, with an age statement of it being 27, it's going to be a better whiskey than the 21. How would you compare the 21 and 27?
I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have, that older whiskeys are better. I mean, I've told it multiple times earlier.
Yeah.
One of the best whiskeys that I've had is a whiskey that was slightly about 3.5 years. It actually depends on what you want out of the whiskey. Younger whiskeys would obviously be more robust, vibrant, more bold. With age, as humans, we mellow down. The spirit will also tame down or mellow down. But I think age by no means is an indication of a good whiskey.
I think people confuse pricing with quality. More pricey the whiskey, the more tasty or more flavorful it's going to be. The reason why older whiskeys are expensive because there's less of it. Yeah. It's just that. It is not that because they are more flavorful. Yes, added layers of maturation, added years of maturation do impart the whiskey with different dimensions of flavor, but not to say younger whiskeys are not good. Like the Dewar's, I think the Dewar's 18-year-old is again a very beautiful, exceptional whiskey. Dewar's 21, 27, different casks, different finishes, different flavor profiles. So I think it's for a different audience. It's not necessarily that 21 was bad and 27 was good.
Right. And also because I'm someone who doesn't really drink a lot of whiskeys.
Why?
Right.
I would say I would like to learn and kind of enjoy it a bit more. But for a beginner, do you think this, if they can afford it, of course, is this a good whiskey to start off? Understanding the whole concept of whiskey appreciation.
Why not? If you can afford it, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned whiskey consumer connoisseur, it's for everyone.
Yeah, I think this exemplifies how blended whiskeys are in no way inferior to single malts, right? And I think the kind of innovation that blended whiskeys can bring on the table, the kind of flavors that blended whiskeys can bring on the table, I think the Dewar's double range in general is quite a epitome of that. So yeah, if you can afford it, definitely you should try it.
And also we would like to take this opportunity to reach out to the Bacardi and the Dewar's team to do more to make this exceptional range available to the audience across India. You've got a beautiful product out here. Please do some more stuff around it.
With that, we come to the end of this video and the year 2024. If you've tried this whiskey, let us know in the comments below. And also let us know which was your favorite whiskey of 2024. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Happy New Year!